Hello everyone and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to have you with us today. You have come along right in the middle of a sew along. So I hope you enjoyed this. This that we are doing is a quilt by Sherri McConnell. There's a cute little story behind it. She found one of her grandmother's quilts and then tried to figure it out, and hence this is called Grandma's Scrap Quilt. Where I am at right now, I have my hourglass blocks done. These are my light color ones. This one has the green. I have yellows and blues over here also. These are my, let's just call them anchor squares. These are just my regular squares. These are my light colors, the green, the blue, and the yellow. And then my dark colors are going to go, well, I call these my light. They're lights and darks. These are my dark, of course they have yellow and different colors in them, but these are my dark ones. These are the ones that go with my 9 patches. So here's my 9 patch, and I've already gotten them laid out to how I want to pair them up, because right now all I'm doing is pairing up squares to make it scrappy. Now let's see, I've got 3 rows done already, and there was a method to the madness in these 3. One's going to be the top row, one's going to be the middle row, and one's going to be the bottom row. What makes them kind of similar is, I will show you this one here. This row has all of my hourglass with the orange in them. So every other block has the orange in them. The rest of the rows, the top, middle, and bottom are the only ones like this. But one has the orange, one has the red, and one has black. Those are my dark colors of this line. So now what we are going to do, I'm not going to sew my 9 patches yet, because I may want to change out one of the hourglass blocks. So I'm going to lay my hourglass blocks over here. These are my squares that I'm using. The only thing that I'm trying to do is not use same colors side by side. So like this is a yellow, so I will use an hourglass block with either the green or the blue with this. So let me show you. I have a yellow, I have my hourglass block, and how you attach them, you attach them like this way. You have your dark color going side to side. And I'm just going to get right on into it, guys. I'm hoping, let's see, when you see this, it will be Sunday morning. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Very relaxing day. Now, I always say that because if you're new, you don't know this, most of my videos are pre-recorded. Most of them are probably recorded the weekend of or the prior weekend before. I try to get most of my recordings done, you know, sparing 1 or 2 videos during the week for a recording during the week, because I do work a 40-hour-a-week job, which I love, but I also love sewing. And I will tell you, if you have questions, the lighting here makes it very hard to see what I'm doing. So it, you know, unfortunately, it is what it is. And I'm just continuing with my yellow squares. You have a certain number of these squares that you have to do. And I just kind of, because when you're cutting your fabric, sometimes you get too many. I just kind of evenly divided it the best I could, because some I got more than others, but it really doesn't matter because it's supposed to be a scrap quilt. And these are completely random, just grabbing what the next one is. Like, I have this next yellow, so I don't want to do a yellow. I'm going to either do a blue or a green. I have a lot of greens. So what I try to do is vary my colors that I put with it, because I don't want to have all my yellows have all reds. I don't want all my greens to have all oranges or black. You know, I want a good mix of each color with each solid color that I'm doing, or each square that I'm doing. And of course, what we're going to try to do is get about an hour of sewing in for you guys. I do not foresee me getting these done today. I was hoping I was going to. My goal for this weekend, I'm going to keep talking while I'm sewing, because I really don't need to stop sewing. Now, I know I said it's kind of random, but I don't want 2 blocks to have the same dark colors. I want them to have, they can have the same dark colors, just not the same pattern in it. My goal for this weekend was to finish the Silverstone, which y'all saw that Saturday morning. And I will be working on that one probably next. I have another one I want to work on, but I may work on the Silverstone next. But I do have some good news. I have a finish. My pressed flowers is now at the long arm. So isn't that exciting? I'm so excited about that, because that has been a long time coming. If you did the Sew Sampler box last year and you got your pressed flowers in, you know that thing has been done for a while. Well, mine just got done this morning, and it went to my long armers. And of course, while I was there, I ran into a subscriber. I didn't catch your name. I'm so sorry. I was so involved thinking I got the fabric for a new quilt, and like I needed more. So now I got 2 new quilts that I bought everything. The fabric, the pattern, everything this weekend. But that's the danger of going in there and looking for backing for me, is I run across fabric that I really like and I have to get it. So, well, you know, I didn't have to get it, but I really wanted it. I think I'm going to move these up here with me, so I'm not turning around all the time. Now I'm down to my greens and my blues squares, and I want to show y'all this pattern here. This was my test block. Well, y'all see how that's pretty uniform? That's not going to be how this quilt comes out. I just did 9 squares to make a block so I could see what it would look like, but it's going to be very random. I'm probably going to use this to make a little pillow. Whoops. And I threw it on the floor. Didn't mean to, but I did. But this one is going to be more random. Okay, so I only have 1 yellow. I only have 2 yellows, so 1 for each. 1 for a blue, 1 for a green. And that'll be okay since I don't have, for some reason, I don't know if I didn't cut this the right size. It's the right size. I didn't trim down this hourglass block. Give me a moment. I will be right back. I've got to trim this hourglass block. Okay, I am now back. It looked like I missed a whole bunch of squares that I needed to trim up, but I got them trimmed. So let's finish talking about what my goal was for this weekend, and I can already tell it's not going to happen, but that's okay too. Never hurts to have a goal, because here it is Saturday and I am only sewing what y'all are going to see Sunday. And I am going to try to get some more sewing done today. I'm probably going to sew all day today, probably. And I may sew some tomorrow afternoon, but I don't know about that yet. It just all depends on what I have going on tomorrow. I know at some point today, I need to go see my daughter. I need to go see my son. I need to go see my grandbaby girl. I haven't seen her. They were at the camp for about a week, and I didn't, they have to come through here, but they weren't able to stop when they came back through, so I didn't get to see them. So I guess I'm going to have to go to them. But I thought I would stop and sew for you guys for a little, or sew with you guys. I want y'all to be sewing with me. I have so many new projects on the horizon. I purchased another one today. I'm getting ready for that National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, which is September 21st. And I have some exciting things going on September 21st. So y'all are going to have to stay tuned to find that out. And that's just to make sure everything goes as planned and there's no changes in it. Now, why do I feel like there needs to be more? Because I have a lot of these. I feel like I'm supposed to have more than I have. I don't know. But once I get these done, I'll count them up to see how many I have, and I may have too many hourglass blocks. I don't know. I don't think I do, but I will count them up in just a little bit after I get all of them sewn. And we will see where I'm at on that. But I think, unless I miscounted my squares, but I have more squares over here that I had pulled out. So that will be okay if that's the case. But I very well could have miscounted squares, because I've got a lot more greens, and I can't use the greens. But I thought I counted my squares out. Oops. I just about sewed that to the light side. I need to sew it to the dark side. Now, on the alternating rows with the 9 patches, it goes the dark Like on these that have the 6.5 inch solid squares, they go this way. But when you go to the 9 patch, they'll go this way. Just about pulled a green there. I can't have a green. Yeah, I keep getting things popping up on my phone. I'm so sorry if I keep looking up there. I record on my phone and I have things popping up on it. I'm gonna have to start recording on my camera. I never think to charge my camera, so I don't record on it. And I honestly don't know if I would know how to use any other editing software other than what is on my phone that comes with YouTube. That way you have music and all that, and you don't have to worry about copyright stuff. But one day I'll figure it out. Maybe. If I'm interested enough in it, I may figure it out. Got to make sure these are lining up. Okay, so projects. I keep going and mentioning what I want to do this weekend. The goal was to get my Silverstone completed this weekend, which I still may be able to. And, you know, get it ready for quilting. And then I was hoping to maybe finish my grandma's scrap quilt. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. I don't know. It's just according to how far we get. But right now what I'm doing is just piecing my two 6.5 inch. So this is a 6.5 inch, and by the way, this is a free pattern. It is down in the description. If you would like to join us, you're more than welcome to. I do have a Facebook group. The link is also in the description for that. If you look at the featured, when you go to the Facebook group, if you click featured, you will find the post of all the sew-alongs that I'm doing. I can't say have done because I just started doing sew-alongs. This is a 6.5 inch square, and this is a 6.5 inch hourglass block. I am putting all of these together. I'm going to pull my pattern back out and recount my squares to make sure I have the number I'm supposed to have. Because I do not want to not do enough of these squares. So I'm out of solid squares now. So I'm going to pull the pattern here. For the 6.5 inch squares, we were supposed to have 57. So I got 10 blues. And let's see if I have 10 greens. I may not. Okay, I don't. That's why I had this one here. So we are just going to keep sewing now. I knew something looked kind of off there. But with me, so much could look off. And, you know, things can be off. I always trust my instinct when things don't look quite right. Because I will be the first one to tell you, I mess up a lot. And it happens. We all mess up. Oh, I'm having to make sure I'm not doing the wrong ones here. Oh, goodness. I need more greens. It looks like I'm going to have blues with blues, but it is what it is. I'll have to mix them blues up in there. I may have to pull some blues out of my 9 patches. That's why I did not sew my 9 patches. I may have to pull some. Yeah. I'm trying to say this right, but I keep not saying it right. if I have blues with my 9 patches, I may have to pull. No. I'll have green with green. We will see where it goes. Because I know I have 11 blues. So, and I don't have, and those have to have green. Because they can't have blue, and I don't have any more yellows. I only had the one yellow, which I could probably go in and find a yellow out of my 9 patches here. Well, that one I have going with a green. See, and this is all just a, that one's going with a green. I can pull a yellow out. And then see here we have blue with a green, a yellow with a green, a blue with a yellow, but it's yellow and red. We're going to just go with what it is. It'll be okay. We're not going to stress over this. It's all still going to turn out into a quilt. I just try to not have the same colors together. But if it's really bad, I will, you know, if I have too many that are with the same color, I will try to, it's not wanting to feed. There we go. Just had to get it past that seam there. Sometimes it gets stuck on that hump. But on Grandma's Scrappy Quilt, my hope today is to get all of my blocks put together. You know, make them into my rows. That is my goal today on Grandma's Scrap Quilt. Get my rows done. But if I have enough time, I'm only going to try to sew for about an hour here. And we're only 30 minutes in, guys. So we are making great time. And once we get these done, once I get all of the one-on-one put together, then I'll start linking the 2 and 2 together. Start making the row, and then once I get the rows done, I will do my 9 patches, and then I'll have to put my 9 patches together, because the 9 patches do have a different thing on how you put them together. So I think what I need to do is I need to build my rows as I go and make sure, because like row 2 with the 9 patch is not the same as the row 4 with the 9 patch. It's going 3 9 patches in this one, and then the one below it, it's 2 9 patches, then 3 9 patches, then 2 9 patches. So, and at the beginning of it, it leads with these. So I probably need to stop here, because I'm going to need, well, my 9 patches are going to have a solid on it. Everything starts out as the 2 blocks. It'll work out one way or the other. It will work out. And if it don't match up, I always have a seam ripper I can pull out if necessary. And I have extra fabric over here. If I have to pull some out and cut some, I'll do that. I had thought about enlarging this quilt, but I think it's going to be a pretty good size. I may try to quilt this one myself. I may not. I don't know. It's just according to how big it does end up. And a lot of times that's the problem with me looking at patterns. I don't always look at how big it's going to be. This is a 66 by 78. Yeah, it's a pretty decent size. This may go to the long arm. It may have to go to the long armor because it's a pretty good size quilt. But the plan was to get, the hope was to get the Silverstone done, the Grandma's Scrap Quilt done, and about halfway on the Disappearing 4-patch. Right now on that Disappearing 4-patch, I just have the 2 pieces together, sort of like what I'm doing right now. And I'll need to make those into 4 squares, or a 4-patch. And that 4-patch has been very exciting. Okay, so now I'm to my greens. I'm probably going to have to pull another blue because I have one left of the blue, and I think I made exactly the amount of hourglass blocks that I needed. Oh, but if that's the case, I just thought about this. The rows that goes with the 9-patch, I will have to take those apart. Yep, I'll have to take those apart because let's just start making. We're not going to sew these. So I already have my first row done. I think I have some, I better do greens. And what I can do is just, when I get to it, if I need to take some apart, I will just pull out the seam ripper. Because my dark pieces need to be going up and down and not side to side. And this is where a lot of people probably would have a design wall and trying to figure out which one goes where. Not me. I don't do that. But that's the whole premise of this being a scrappy quilt, is to not really know the design of it. And I'm fine not knowing the design of it. The only design elements is which direction the dark is going on each row in the hourglass. I'm going to do this one up and down, so at least I'll have one correct. Going to try to keep this one out to the side because I know that one is cut how it needs to be. I will get a blue and do the same thing. Oh, I got that one there. I will get a blue and do the same thing to it, so I know I have one of each, because we know it's going to be blue or green. And on these even rows that have the hourglass block that goes up and down, the row starts with a solid piece and ends, the rows that have the up and down hourglasses, what those are the ones with the 9 patches. And those, gonna do this one up and down also because I have to have the one, wait, do that, yes, so I will have to have 6 that go up and down, and I have 3, so I have 3 more I need to go in, pick out, pull apart, and sew with the dark color going up and down. And it really doesn't matter to me if they're all blue or all green or... Okay, so that is 3. So here now I need to get my little Cathy here. Y'all, this thing is fabulous. I have it linked in the description. It is a... I can't remember. It's a Dritz. It's a trimming caddy. It's got your blade right here, and then it's got magnets on the end, on both sides of it. And that is amazing when you're trying to pin stuff, just to put your pen there and not have to worry about putting it in a pin cushion or anything. I really like it. And I even store in here I got my needles, my sewing machine needles. And I've got a clamp in there too, just a couple clamps just in case I need them. Just right here, real handy. And it fits right here under the ledge of my sewing machine real good too. So if y'all are interested in this, the link is in my description. And it's fabulous. I see a few people have ordered some of them. Thank you so much. I am an Amazon affiliate. If you purchase off of one of my links, I earn a very small commission. And it helps me and doesn't cost you a thing. So let's see. We're going to be... I have extras of these. I don't understand this. I obviously do not have enough. Oh, I think I probably did it wrong. I probably didn't get out. I'm supposed to have 71. I don't know how many I got. So, I've just sewn what I have, and we will go with that. Let's see. We've got green. We got a blue. Let's see. We may pull a couple blues and turn them. So that's 3 there. 2 blues and another green. For some reason, I don't feel like I have enough of everything. But we will figure it out when we start piecing. I'm not going to take these apart yet because I see we're coming up on 50 minutes right now. So I'm not going to jump into that. So what I'm going to do is start piecing. I have the first row done already. So now that brings me to my second row, which is with these. And we start with our hourglass going upward, our 9 patch. And we just match the 2 together, get it under that needle real good. And I'm actually going to sew these rows and take them off as I go. I'm not going to chain sew any of this. I'm going to just sew what I need and then sew the next piece on. So this one is a yellow, another yellow. So I'm going to possibly change that out. We don't want a green because we got green and black in that. This will be a good one. A blue and an orange. And I'm making sure this is hourglass and 9 patch. Okay, I just noticed I might have messed up because in the thing here, it shows that you add a solid in here. So I'm going to add this solid, and then we'll have another hourglass. So this could be why it doesn't look right, because I wasn't doing it right. And now I'll add another hourglass, and my darks are going up and down. And I don't know if I say this enough, but you can't get any more real than this. I'm telling you right now, I've messed up. Don't sew ahead on this. And maybe a design board is a good idea, but not for me. Normally what I do is I look at the pattern and I stack my fabric how I want it to go. And I just didn't pay attention to this one. which is par for the course because I normally don't pay attention anyway and end up having a mess. Okay, so now that I have this, I have another 9 patch. I'm making sure I have a 9 patch. Okay, so it's like we're alternating with a solid and a 9 patch. Okay, so that looks like I am 6 in, making sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my next thing is another hourglass block. It looks like I'm using a lot of the yellows and blacks. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, oh, that's a good one, a blue and a black. And there is no rhyme or reason to my colors other than just that they do not have 2 of the same colors side by side. My 9 patches have 2 colors in them. I try not to get one of those colors in the block that is right next to it. But if I do, it is not the end of the world. My grandmother would not have cared when she made her scrap quilts. If there was 2 of the same side by side, she would have told you that's because that's the fabric she had. And she used what she had. So I'm kind of taking my 9 patches and all that apart here. Okay, I can't have a blue. I could have a yellow and red though. Let's make sure that's what we're at. So we got the 9 patch. No, that's not what we're at. It has to be a solid, which is a green at this point. See, I almost messed up there. That would have thrown off the design of this pattern. And funny, it is a scrap quilt, but it does have a design in it. There is a design element. Okay, now I have hourglass, 9 patch, and then hourglass. Yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason to this. But y'all stay tuned Monday to see if I accomplish what I set out to do this weekend. I had actually wanted to get some of my little quilts quilted. That is always going to be on the back burner. When I have a quilt that I want to get done, quilting is going to be on the back burner. Kind of like binding my Craftsman. It's been on the back burner. It's still not done. And that bedroom is set up, has been set up. And, yeah, just not done. But, you know, things happen and it is what it is. But I do plan on getting a lot of things done, even if it's just quilt tops. But I want to get some fully finished items so I can get them out of this bin behind me right there. I want to get some things fully finished so I can get those out of there. And so I can keep working, because if I keep filling that up, that makes that top bin pretty heavy. And that's not fun. I don't want to use all the same colors on each row, because that's my top row, my middle row, and my bottom row. And honestly, who knows what they're going to come out looking like. I'm not really going to try to, when I put 2 rows together, I'm not going to know what the colors are, because I'm not design boarding this. If you want to see a true scrappy quilt, this is probably going to be it. So, okay. This is our second row of our quilt. So, let's see. It's very, very scrappy for sure. Very scrappy. So, this is my second row. I guess I need to get my first row up, which it doesn't matter which one it is. So now let's see about the third row. The third row is going to be these pieced together. And we just have, we'll see what we've got here. So we go, so I need 5 and a solid. Well, gracious, I'm going to have all blues on this. Maybe not. Because I think what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be random and put a green in here. And that'll make my 2. This will make my 2. It's going to kind of be a gradient quilt because I'm going to have more of one color in one area than the other. Yeah, that happens when your foot pedal gets stuck down here below me. I just sewed that one going up and down and not side to side. It looks like I'm going to have to break out the seam ripper, y'all. So what I'm going to do is just take the up and down one, throw it over to the side to be with my up and down pieces, and I'll just pick another one. Now, if I make this again, I will plan on making all my squares like one color, and then, because I think that would be real pretty. But right now, I am smashing my stash and just using, I had 2 fat quarter bundles that I'm using up, so I have all the different colors. And I may actually have, when I finish another quilt, I may have what I need to do this also in another color. I may actually have it. I will have to see, because I do really like this pattern. I like to keep them kind of, you know, not the same colors, but I don't know. I think I may be kind of out of options. And once I get all my rows together and I look at them, I may decide to take half of one row out and put it on another row just to kind of give it a variety. And I will do that. I am known to do that. Don't be afraid to pull that seam ripper out and change things around if you don't like how the colors are going. I don't want to have like all the same colors in one area. But if that happens, I know all I got to do is take a seam ripper out and just redo it. Now, this lends me to having to do all the blues, and I don't really like doing all the blues. I'm just going to throw a green in there, you know? I mean, it's not going to hurt anything to throw one in there. Even though I do have a green right there, it's not going to hurt it. Now, I very well could make the quilt like I made the block and then just put them together and attach them with, because they're the centerpiece between, like that block I showed you, it's an hourglass, a solid, then an hourglass. And like, if you wanted to do that, do it like that block that I did as my tester block, and then have like particular colors anchoring the blocks together. That would be really cute too. I mean, there is no limit when it comes to the pattern. You can do whatever you want to do. But you know, the main thing to do is just get it sewed together. If you don't like how it looks, just take it apart. Take the part out that you don't like how it looks and move it around. And I know a lot of people, they're like, well, I want to know how to do it first and then I don't have to do it again. It doesn't matter, you know, how it is. So you can see by what I've done, don't sew them all together like that, because that's wrong. Now, if you want to sew them like that, follow the pattern and stack them up and then sew them like that. Me, I was just looking at the pattern thinking it was the same all the way across, and it's not. So I've got another green next to a green. So See, it's very random. Even though I didn't want green by green, it is what it is, and it's going to still make a beautiful quilt. If I don't like it, I'll find one that I want there, and I'll take it apart and put the other one there. But once again, no stress. When you start stressing over sewing, you're taking the joy out of it. Don't do that to yourself. You want to enjoy sewing. Just don't do that to yourself. So here's my row 3. It's got lots of blues and greens in it. And that's okay. That's my row 3. And see, I think this would be a very beautiful quilt. Very planned out. Now, of course, you would have to figure out the amount of fabric that you would need. If you didn't want it to be scrappy. And that's not hard to figure out. I mean, you just figure out what size it is and how many of everything you need, and then you just figure out how many would go into the size you want it to be. That's what I'm telling you. You can always fix things with sewing. You can take it apart and put it back together, and it'll work. So we're hourglass solid, hourglass 9-patch, hourglass solid. So we need an hourglass and a 9-patch. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying sewing along. I know I'm scatterbrained. I'm chit-chatting here. So kind of in conclusion, because I'm about to wrap this up for you guys. My goals for the weekend: to get the Silverstone completed, the Grandma Scrap quilt, rows put together. That is a goal for this weekend, is to get the rows put together on this. And my disappearing 4-patch, I want to get my 4-patch put together. Right now I got a 2-patch, so I need a 4-patch, and that's my goal for my disappearing 4-patch, is to get that put together. I have a few other little projects that I want to work on this weekend. One I want to complete. Y'all probably, if you caught it in, I think, an update or something, I said I had an abandoned project. I want to finish that project for you guys, because I have it recorded. And after I had to do that, y'all, it was sad. It was one of those days when my body was tired, my brain was tired, but I just wanted to sew, and I know better than trying to sew. Yep, I did it again. I did it again. I did them side to side instead of top to bottom. My brain must be tired today. But some days I know I shouldn't even attempt anything. And I did. And that was a little more complex than my brain could handle. And I just messed it up. So I just put it aside. And I want to come back to it. But now after this right here, I don't know if I should do it today or just wait until tomorrow maybe. Because I keep putting these together the wrong way. But that happens. It does happen, y'all. And don't be hard on yourself if you do that. It happens. You may want to just leave yours like it is. You may feel like it gives it character. You know, there's no right or wrong way. It's your quilt. You decide what is right and wrong. So give yourself grace. Be kind and gentle to yourself. It happens to everybody. And it's not really a big deal. I mean, if you put it the wrong direction, it's just the wrong direction. It's not going to be the end of the world. You can always take it apart if you're striving for perfection. You can always take it apart. But look at it before you do that, because it may be perfect. I mean, that may be the way it should be. Your quilt is always going to be what you make of it. Now, I can put it right. And the one thing I do want to make sure is that I have my darks going the correct direction. Because on the solid row, the row with the solid blocks, that's just a solid and a hourglass, those go side to side. The one with the 9 patch, they go up and down. I'm not real sure what the design element is of that, what it's going to look like, but I really want to do that part correct. So now we have another, which I'm using a red against a red, and it's going to be okay. It's going to look perfectly fine. Now, I was giving y'all a summary of what I'm doing, and y'all will see my updates on Monday. You know, what all I did achieve and get done over the weekend. Because most of the time, I record mostly on the weekends. Now, sometimes during the week, I do record during the week too. Don't think that I come in here and I pump out 5 videos over a weekend, because I don't. I do like to get 2 or 3. I normally average about 3 a weekend. And that's because I can come in here and I can sew all day. And I enjoy doing that. So, my house suffers a little bit. But, here is my next row. But guys, I'm going to shut it down here. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun sewing along. I hope you're joining us for the sew along. But even if you're not, you can check in the description for the link to the Facebook group. I will have a link there for the Facebook group. Currently I have a Silverstone sew along, Grandma's Scrap Quilt sew along, and the Disappearing 4-patch sew along. So you can join us for all of those. The Silverstone sew along does have a giveaway with it. What you have to do is go to the featured section, find the posting for the Silverstone sew along. It will say on this is where you will post your photos. Click comment. Make sure to comment and then add your photos in a comment. If your photos are not in the comment under the Silverstone, it will not be added into my drawing. But you do have to be, in the Facebook group to be even considered for that. And you'll have to ask to join the group. And if you have been a Facebook member for more than a year, I will automatically approve you. I have been receiving a lot of requests for people to join the group, and they just joined Facebook, and when I go to look at their profile, because I try to keep the group very safe, I don't want a lot of bots and stuff in there, but when I go to look at their profile, it says digital creator. Number 1 red flag for me, digital creator with a group, a Facebook page just created. I'm not going to approve that. But if it is you and you are a real person, please email me. My email address is down in the description. I will probably email with you back and forth a little bit. you know, but you'll need to let me know, hey, I would love to be involved with the sew along, or I'd like to be in your Facebook group to see what you have going on. Even if you don't follow the sew alongs, you don't have to follow any of the sew alongs, but you're more than welcome to become part of the group. And it's kind of like our My Hobby Home Hangout going on there. But feel free to email me and let me know you'd like to become part of the group, and put your request in, and I'll go on and approve it that way. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. I keep realizing every time I sew, don't get in a rush. Take my time, because here I've sewed a lot of squares that I'm probably not going to need, but it has been enjoyable. I love working on these quilts with everyone. I love everyone joining me. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.